So guys, we are on the Tiggo Cross Media Drive somewhere in Subang Jaya, and we are taking the Cross Turbo for a short drive to check it out. Well, it has 147 PS and 210 Newton meters of torque through a 4-cylinder 1.5 liter turbocharged engine. And basically this is the same engine that's available in the Omoda 5, but whilst the Omoda 5 comes with a CVT, this one comes with a 7-speed DCT, which is good because then it has better power transmission and less none of the CVT roar that you get. Okay, so this already puts it a level above the Omoda 5. Now in terms of size, it is slightly smaller than the Proton X50, the current model, and also very slightly smaller than the HRV. In fact, the wheelbase between the three of them is less than 20 mm, or more like 17 or 18 mm. Yeah, so this wheelbase is 2610, and I think the HRV is slightly longer, and somehow the X50 slips in between, something like that lah. That is in terms of overall length. Yeah, so we have a length of 4318, and I think the X50 is 4330. Yeah, 12 mm, and the HRV is 4335. So it's like between the two of them, like 17 mm or 18 mm difference, which is about this much. Yeah, so but visually the Tiggo Cross does look a little bit smaller, maybe because the tail end is a little bit slimmer. Okay, so with the turbocharger, it should give quite good acceleration, and because it doesn't have that CVT, it will also accelerate better. However, driving in the city, the DCT will have a little bit more jerky kind of gear change because you're going very slow. But at high speeds, this DCT is going to be really good because it's usually related to high performance cars, right? Yeah, so even Porsches and Volkswagens and Cayennes and and Audis, they run DCTs instead of automatics. Yeah, or rather instead of CVT. The good thing about CVT is that it provides better fuel consumption. So it's up to you what you want lah. Some people are perfectly comfortable with CVT, and some people really love the DCT. So it's just a matter of choice lah. For me, I would rather take a DCT anytime, okay, over a CVT. Although I must say that some of the new CVTs are pretty good. I've seen some good CVTs in action, and normally it's actually up to the car maker how they tune it. So for a vehicle like this, which is a general purpose vehicle, I suppose they had to make a choice whether they want a CVT or a DCT or just a plain 6-speed auto, or that kind of thing. And I think they chose DCT because for the turbo model, they want to portray a bit more of a performance kind of aura or image. Yeah, so yeah, you see with DCT it goes well. So we're accelerating, and it's a pity it doesn't have any pedal shifters, but well, DCT is good. And yes, there's a manual mode. If you push it to the left, okay, so now you're on manual mode. Yeah, so but in the city, of course, you would be advised to keep it in D lah, because you don't want to be rowing the gearbox like like a pedal boat all the time. Yeah, so you can choose your moment. Like say if you are going up Genting, I would certainly consider using the manual mode, but of course you are perfectly able to run it in auto mode all the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to go left and go on the highway and make a loop and come back. Okay, so actually there are two versions of the Chery Tiggo Cross that you can choose. This is the turbo version, which delivers different type of driving fun. And then they also have a hybrid version which runs a naturally aspirated 1.5 engine, much less power. Then it has a hybrid system and a motor that gives you much more torque, but also offers much frugal or more frugal fuel consumption. So we'll be driving that car later, so you'll be able to get to see or hear a little bit more about the specs. But in the meantime, we're going to check this one out. Now the two cars will be exactly the same size, and this is, I would call this a B segment or B plus, you know. So it's in the same ballpark as the X50 and the Honda HR-V, but it is slightly smaller. Yeah. Of course, you will sit 4 or 5 people, but as usual in all of these type of vehicles, 4 seems to be a good number, and 5 is at the squeeze. And all of them are like that, no matter what you do. And of course, being an SUV, it has all the flexibility of SUV, where the rear seats will fold down and split and fold and all kinds of things to give you extra space for your storage. And yes, one thing is good, you have mirrors, and you actually have a 540-degree camera. You can see what's under the car. So you can't see it here, but I can see it there. So if you want, you can go to the showroom and check it out. And also the signal is on the right hand side, which is the correct side, yeah, for right hand drive. So I'm very happy to note that the Chery as a car maker does consider the user being on the right hand side of the car. So the signal stalk is on the right while the gear stick is on the left. So this is what you call in-car ergonomics. Inside the car, you have actually a combined screen where the driving information is on the right hand side, right within your eyesight, and then you have your infotainment screen on the left. It's put into one long one. And of course, this car is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto friendly. Gear stick is quite nice. This is the classic phallic symbol gear stick, and you have electronic handbrake plus auto hold, aircon controller in the bottom here, and this is piano black and it is digitalized, so very good. So the aircon controls are here, plus what's this switch? The volume switch is here, plus also on the steering control. What is this? A home button? Oh, okay. So if you don't like to do a touch screen, there are some functions at the bottom here you can use as a button. What do you see?
This is a home button.
Home button,
so
then?
This is your driving mode actually.
Oh, so driving modes, yes.
Entered regular mode.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, we have sport, normal and eco. Put on, now is a normal mode, right? Okay.
It has entered sport mode.
Oh, okay. Just the press of a button.
It has entered economy mode.
Oh, and the car talks to you. Not bad. So let's go on normal mode.
It has entered regular mode.
So there are 3 driving modes, and also average fuel consumption. Well, this car has undergone a whole morning of testing by the media, and average fuel consumption I see is 9.7 liters per 100. Of course, the claimed consumption is a little bit lesser than this, but this car has been running around, under acceleration, deceleration, acceleration test. So when you take the corner, the screen changes. Very interesting. So you're gonna ask me, what is the price? What I hear is the selling price is less than 100,000 ringgit, which is pretty exciting by itself, right? Because imagine a 1.5 liter turbocharged car, and well, the Omoda was selling 100 plus, right? Yeah. And so if this is sub 100, wow, it's a bargain, man. And consider that you have a DCT, car coming out. Okay, look at the acceleration. Oh, nice. So I can see the DCT is tuned at the middle point between fuel economy and yeah, they make the gear shift smoother. So they do control the top a little bit lah. But you have 210 Newton meters, which is pretty good for a 1.5 litre car. In fact, I would be happy if all 1.5 litre cars came with turbochargers. Yeah, then you have a lot of these cars zipping around all over the place. So this is just a quick driving impression of the Tiggo Cross. So far so good. The suspension, I suspect is McPherson struts in the front and maybe a torsion beam in the back.
Torsion beam in the back.
And I didn't check the size of the wheels. 17?
Should be.
Should be around 17. Nowadays, a lot of cars don't do smaller wheels anymore. And so, pretty okay to me. I hope that we don't have to get through the jam. Yeah, it's clearing up. I have no idea what is the top speed, but I would expect it to be around 150, 160 lah. That would be a nominal top speed for a vehicle of this size. A meter is digital, so it's pretty nice. And driving, quite normal. Suspension is set up for a bit more on the comfortable side of firm. Now all these smaller vehicles, they have to have a firm suspension because the weight of this car may be 1.4 or 1.4 tons,
Yeah.
and then you have to put in about 450 to 500 kilos of weight under full, so you become to 1.8, 1.9. From 1.4 to 1.9, you're getting maybe about 30% increase in the weight of the vehicle. So therefore they have to spring it a bit harder to take up 30% more of weight when laden, fully laden versus empty. Now, in contrast, if you have a 2-ton car and you load up 400 to 500 kilos, the difference is only 25%. So that means they don't need to have the thing sprung. So it's sprung to hold that weight, and the difference is so little. They don't have to cater for what you call a big change in weight, so they can afford to spring it more comfortably. So I would say that suspension is firm and maybe even on the comfortable side of firm lah. So this would be a very suitable vehicle for somebody who is like school mom or Nathan, or going to college, yeah. And so depending on Nathan's psyche, it'll be a toss-up between the hybrid or the non-hybrid. Yeah, but I think knowing him, he will go for this lah. For a guy like me, I might consider the hybrid, because then I'll be looking at drive slow and steady and use less fuel. So in a city situation like this, you can expect something like 4 liters per 100, 3 point something liters per 100 kilometers. So it saves so much fuel. Yeah. But of course, to buy the hybrid, I think there's a small premium lah. In normal type of cars or vehicles, other brands lah, the difference between maybe 6 to 10,000 ringgit. Because the technology does cost money, the battery does cost money, the motor does cost money. And so there is a bit of a premium to pay for a hybrid. So the question is whether you can save enough fuel to pay for the hybrid that you paid extra for. But it's always a toss-up lah. And nowadays we know that hybrids can last up to 10 years. And for the hybrids, they do give warranty on the battery and the motor and stuff like that. But we will be checking out the hybrid soon. Yeah. So Nathan, what do you think of a car like this? This Gen Z,
I mean, it's very comfortable, as you said. More than enough power. I mean, 147 horsepower, I believe, 210 Newton meters of torque is more than enough for daily commutes around.
Definitely.
I mean, cabin space wise, pretty comfortable.
And he's quite tall. This fellow is quite tall. What's your height?
I'm like 183 centimeters tall.
Girls take note.
But anyways, the MVH level is pretty good also. Currently, there's no music playing whatsoever, but you don't really hear much road noises. And as Uncle said, yes, it's more towards to the firm side of comfort in terms of suspension tuning, but overall, yeah.
Very good, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, but I must say, as you mentioned, the DCT tuning. As a DCT, it's actually very smooth.
Yeah, actually
Because
quite smooth.
It's
huh?
quite smooth for DCT.
Earlier I said that it could be a bit jerky, but it's not.
It's not jerky at all.
Yeah. Because that was my expectation of a DCT. But I think maybe some people can't tell the difference, you know, because well, most of the 80% of the people who drive the car don't even know what's an auto or a DCT or a CVT, and they all treat it like auto lor. You know, as long as you don't have to change gear, it's an auto.
Put into D, jalan.
Yeah. So it's fairly simple, nothing complicated. Yeah, even though the tech is quite good, you don't have to worry about it lah. And visibility is quite good now. There are very few blind spots, you know, and of course at the back there, the screen is a little bit on the small side, but it's okay, and it's made up by these mirrors and the 540-degree camera. I think as a city roundabout, it's pretty good lah. And okay, so the next question, Nathan.
Yep.
If you had to choose between this car and another conventional 1.5 litre engine to go outstation, which would you choose?
This.
Why?
I mean, obviously you have enough power to properly to cruise on the highway and not struggle to overtake cars.
Yep.
Not struggle to maintain highway speeds, right?
Yes.
So I think this is where turbochargers come into help a lot lah.
Yes. So you pay the road tax of 1.5 and get the power of a 2 litre. You know, to get 210 Newton meters of torque, 147 horsepower. This is basically what the Toyota Camry 2 litre would have been like, and I think the torque wouldn't have been so high. Only 100 plus Newton meters. So this is the turbocharging system is something that is a real boon to car users lah. You know. Actually, this car actually has more power than the car I drove in 1977 when I won the Malaysian Grand Prix series production in the rotary engine. Yeah, there was only 130 PS, you know, 120 PS, and this car has 147. So technically, it would lap the Batu Tiga circuit at a shorter time than what I used to do. So guys, that's the end of our drive with the Tiggo Cross Turbo, and we're going back to the test drive area, and we're going to drive the Tiggo Cross Hybrid CSH, and Chery is very proud of the what you call Chery Super Hybrid, and the Super Hybrid system is slightly different from the conventional hybrid systems as we know it, but we'll talk about it more when we drive the car. Okay, so anyway guys, thanks for being with us on this drive. We hope you enjoyed our little test run and talk about the car, and hope to see you in our next video. Thanks, bye bye.